Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, and this is another video on the insane asylum known as WFAN. Now, I would mention we're not going to do the music of the insane asylum because this is one of the more saner. This might be the sanest person at the radio station, and that's Evan Roberts. Now, as you know, Evan Roberts is a Mets fan, like I am, and we want to see the Mets bring back Pete Alonso. I've been doing a lot of videos about what's going to happen with Pete. Where's he going to get traded? And if he gets traded, where's he going to get traded to? And for what? Now, I've said that the Mets will never get any kind of value for him, any equal value of note. I think a lot of people feel that way. And Evan, as you know, he's a season ticket holder, so he's a little bit different than some of the other clowns that pretend to be Met fans on the fan. He is very honest about the club. But he's also a guy that puts his money where his mouth is. He's not a guy that just says one thing on one platform on the radio, and then on the other platform on TV has a totally different attitude. Evan's pretty consistent. Now, Evan today put out yesterday, Monday, put out some comments about how Pete, first of all, Pete has been in New York the last week. I don't know why he's been in New York. So Evan is starting to speculate that maybe Pete might be here to negotiate a contract with the Mets. Now, last year, and I'll get into this, Jeff McNeil was in New York, and he negotiated with the Mets, and he was going to a Ranger game. So it's very much the same thing here. So we have Pete, who was at the parade with his wife. He was in Madison Square Garden, watched the Rangers game, and he's been enjoying himself, enjoying his time here. Now, if this is a guy that wants to get out of here, why would he be sitting here going and enjoying the city? There's not much to enjoy here like there used to be. From Odyssey.com, headline, Evan, Pete Alonso at Rangers game shows that he is staying with the Mets long term. Evan is convinced that Pete Alonso's attendance at the Rangers game at Madison Square Garden on Monday night is a sign that he's going to be a Met for life. Okay, let's see what Evan had to say. As rumors swirl regarding his potential free agency next winter, and the Mets having reportedly talked trade scenarios at the deadline last summer, Alonso's future in Queens feels anything but certain. But now, after seeing him applauded by New York fans on the big screen at MSG on Monday, Evan says Alonso's here to stay. I agree with him. I don't feel too nervous that he's not going to be here. I have a pretty good sense of the players here, I think. I said for a long time that the Mets were going to lose Jacob deGrom. I said that for 2 years that he wasn't going to come back, and I took a beating. And I was right. I said he was going to stay here. I put myself out on a limb. I think Pete will be with the Mets the rest of his career. I'm going to go out on a limb. Quote, if he's in New York in November, watching your overrated hockey team at the part of the season that means nothing, then that just shows me even more that the polar bear wants to be here forever. Evan told the skeptical Sean Morash, who complained on Twitter back during the summer when Pete went to a tennis match with his wife and a couple of friends, that he should stay behind to watch and participate batting practice after a game the Mets played. That showed how he was not serious about winning. That guy is you talk about bad takes. That's Sean Morash. Sean Morash, I've never seen so many pictures of somebody eating online as I have with him. And the guy was choking on the air a few weeks ago, eating a chicken cutlet sandwich. I swear to God. Quote, ride your Alonso better be trained right into the ground. Like your Rangers season is going. Oh, boy. He don't like the Rangers. Evan noted that Jeff McNeil signed an extension days after taking in a Ranger game at the Garden last winter, is convinced that history is about to repeat itself, which will allow him to cut his hair and finish the vow he took that he would grow it out until Alonso signed. Quote, Scott Boras and Dave Stearns were in a suite last night putting the I's and T's on a contract. Evan said it. Evan is cutting his hair. End quote. Now, I would mention, he didn't know what's going on. This is not he knows what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just making a guess. I will go out on a limb. I think the Mets will re-sign him either now or in the future. But before he will hit free agency at the worst, and the Mets will sign him. Because I think that he's too important on the field, off the field. Mets still need to grow their connection. This ownership has done a great job of connecting with us. And that's why I don't see him signing anywhere else. I think he wants to be here. Ownership, I think, loves him. We love him. We want to see him play here and finish his career here and break all kinds of home run records. And I would mention he is up there with some of the great home run hitters in the history of baseball, with like Ralph Kiner, Albert Pujols, Jimmy Fox, Joe DiMaggio, Eddie Matthews, on and on. So when we hear about those kinds of names, this is not a guy that you complain about his little batting average for one season in his career. You talk about the power numbers. Keith Hernandez compares him to Harmon Killebrew. That should not be taken to sort of waved away. He has a chance to have the most home runs in Mets history. He has a chance to have the most RBIs in Mets history. He has broken all the Mets home run records. He's broken RBI records. He's a 3-time All-Star. I will give you a trivia question. He is the only Met rookie of the year to never play in a World Series of the Mets yet. All the other Met rookies of the year have played in the World Series and played in the World Series for the Mets. Pete has not done that yet. So I'd like to see the Mets continue that tradition, this sort of odd kind of trivia of Pete playing in the World Series for the Mets and enjoying the Mets finally a World Series victory for the first time in a long time. You cannot replace that production. You cannot replace those numbers. There's no player of his comparison of note other than Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge, I would point out, is always hurt. Since 2019, Pete Alonso has more home runs than Aaron Judge. He has more RBIs than Aaron Judge. He has more home runs and RBIs than any player. And the hut means any player in Major League Baseball. So we're not talking about a guy that's sort of this run-of-the-mill, the home run hitter, he's Dave Kingman. Let me show you my age. I'm 70 years old. I remember Dave Kingman. There are other players other than Dave Kingman. He is no Dave Kingman. This guy is a home run hitter. He's a better player than Dave Kingman could ever have hoped for. I never saw Dave Kingman play, but some of the older subscribers come in here and like to smear Pete with that comparison. Well, you let me know what you think about this video. What do you think about what Evan said? And this is another report from the insane asylum, from the less medicated side of WFAN. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Baseball Hut 2, and I'll see you later.